over at WBDC, which we had no plans on even talking about this because this just crazy news just dropped all over the place. But James Gunn is making moves over at DC Films. And
Yes.
there was a big report coming out of Forbes this week. When did this drop?
And pretty much everywhere, everybody's kind of reporting on this now. I've seen it from all corners.
Yep. And it started with the big announcement that Wonder Woman 3 was canceled at WB Discovery as the new DCEU plans take shape. So I'm going to read a couple things from that, but definitely check out the report over on Forbes if you want a lot more information or details or just want to read it yourself or give them a click. But basically, rumors coming out of the studio and making the rounds suggest that DC Films, James Gunn and Safran might be planning to let the current crop of DCEU films release in theaters and then close out the existing version of the DCEU altogether, basically the Snyderverse, and replace it with a new rebooted cast of heroes. And this came kind of after Warner Brothers rejected Patty Jenkins' Wonder Woman 3 script. And basically, it seems like the story coming out of that was she handed it to them. It was written by her and Jeff Johns as they did Wonder Woman 1984. And the studio kind of said, well, this really doesn't fit in with what we're thinking about doing. It was rumored to set in a post-Justice League world, so it was going to be present day versus all the previous ones that were set in the past, and it doesn't really allow the DCU to move past the Snyderverse because they were going to still bring up a lot of those moments and those things because that's the universe that this version of Wonder Woman was in. And Patty Jenkins rumored or supposedly was refusing to do any edits on this script, so basically WB said, well, in this current version we're not doing that. So no Wonder Woman 3, and this was the first big kind of bomb. And it was really weird because Gal Gadot tweeted out the day before this news broke, she tweeted out a thing basically saying, I was so honored to be able to be Wonder Woman, and I can't wait to show you what's next. And then the next day, her movie was canceled. And one of the big things was that rumored reasons, or another really easy way for why WB might have wanted to cancel this, was because financially, that's the right word, right? Finances showed that Gal Gadot was supposed to be making $20 million and Patty Jenkins was supposed to get 12. So you're looking at $32 million just to bring those two people in to this film. And with WB making all these cuts and making moves to try to save money, maybe seemed like an easy one. But Don, what's your reaction? How do you feel about this Wonder Woman 3 being canceled?
Not a ton of feeling about it. It was a little, I don't know if the word is shocking, because I know that they originally had probably planned to do this as a trilogy, but we all know, we've kind of talked here and there before, like you and I weren't the biggest fans of 1984. Mm-hmm. So like a third one wasn't gonna excite me too much anyway, unless they kind of just did a complete 180 and reverse course and made it closer to the first one, which I thought was actually pretty good. So yeah, some of the details coming out now, we do have to add that a lot of this is rumored. There's not confirmation of, the scripting rumors, and she walked off, and it was not really James Gunn letting her go, but it was more her saying, I don't want to do this anymore. That's all internet hearsay.
Yeah, and James Gunn, I think, tweeted out, some stuff you've heard is true and others isn't, and we'll figure it out, pretty much, more or less.
Some stuff we're still thinking about. At least he's being transparent as much as he can be. Like, he's not going to sit here and tell us their entire 10-year plan right now, but he is at least he hears it. He's on Twitter every day posting stuff, so he knows people are talking about it. So at least good for him for kind of getting out and saying something.
Right.
But yeah, I've also seen things that they still want Gal Gadot to be Wonder Woman. They just didn't want that movie. So who knows what happens with the future of that character. There's so many other rumors going on about like the legacy DC actors and what's next for them. So I don't know. I'm after James Gunn's comments, like I said, it's good to see him talk about it, but I still feel confused about it. Like we don't have any concrete answers for really any of this.
No, not as of right now. We don't have any answers. There's obviously been lots of talk about Black Adam and where that falls, because that's the most recent DC film to come out. And nobody knows where that falls with the sequel. You had Henry Cavill come back as Superman in that movie as a post-credits thing, and now you don't know. Now there's rumors that Man of Steel 2 has no plans on moving forward with that because they want to leave the Snyderverse behind. Now we also know we have next year Aquaman 2 and Shazam 2 both set to come out, but that all falls into the Snyderverse and is tightly tied in with that universe. And if they want to move past that, what is the point of those movies? You know, and we still have The Flash as well next year. We have 3 big DC movies that we have no idea what's the point of seeing them at this point in time. They're all supposedly rumored to be swan songs. There are even rumors that Batman cameos filmed by Ben Affleck and Michael Keaton might not even make it into Aquaman 2 because they haven't made a final decision about what to include. So they just have no plans. So we might see them in Aquaman, but we might not.
See, it's saying they don't have a plan, but I think they do have a plan. They're just not ready to tell us what the plan is and who it involves.
Mm-hmm.
I can't see James Gunn completely moving away from the Snyderverse. And if he does, I still think he's gonna want to use some of the same actors. I mean, he made Suicide Squad.
Mm-hmm.
You think he wants to fire Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn? I
Right.
don't. Like, he made Peacemaker, and it has a scene at the end with Superman, Wonder Woman, Flash, Aquaman. He made that show. Like, is he just gonna act like none of that exists moving forward? Is John Cena technically part of the Snyderverse? I guess so, after seeing that scene. So, I mean, a reboot is cool, but as we've kind of said, and I think we both agree, you can do more or less a soft reboot and still use some of these actors, unless him and Safran just don't like these guys. If they don't want Henry Cavill, they don't want Henry Cavill. And I mean, I'll feel bad for the guy. He quit The Witcher to make
I mean, right?
to do this. So I don't know.
That's gonna be
man.
the next news. Henry Cavill returns as Geralt.
I'm telling you, my biggest thing I'm thinking here is like, how many years is it going to take me to actually see the fruits of this pay off? Like, if you're going to reboot this again, are we going to be 50 years old until this thing finally gets off the ground? Like, am I going to care anymore?
It's going to be 5, 6, 10 years before we actually see another Superman at this rate, because they're already saying next year we already know what DC films are coming out. We know we have Blue Beetle. We know we have Aquaman, Shazam, and Flash. So I mean, those are the 4 movies, and they're now considered part of this canceled.
Yeah, so you're telling me those movies aren't already telling me those movies aren't leading to anything like substantial as a universe. If you want to do a connected universe, then you're already saying, like, what am I going to see Aquaman 2 for? You guys are talking about rumors wanting to cast him as Lobo and
Right.
like have him be done as Aquaman. So it's very strange. It's all very strange.
Now, should that take away from just enjoying those movies if they're treated as standalone stories?
It shouldn't, but it does. Like,
Isn't that weird?
Subconsciously, like, you should be able to go in and be like, if this is a good movie, I'll just appreciate it for what it is. But knowing what they were going for and knowing, how they kind of have been trying to follow this model that Kevin Feige and the MCU has set the bar on all those years ago. Now to know, like, if you're going in to see Aquaman 2 and be like, well, this isn't leading me to anything, like, I'm not hyped for the next project, it kind of takes away. And my brain can't help but think that way with this stuff. So I don't know. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's really weird trying to figure out, because I should just be able to be like, oh, I just want to watch an Aquaman movie. Cool. My wonder is how important is the Flash going to be? Because clearly, if you're going to do any kind of reboot, Flashpoint is the way to do that reboot. When you're messing with different versions of characters, different universes, multiverses, it's so easy then to recast, tweak characters with the same actors. You could do a lot with that movie. And now with having this like year delay for the film, how much are they changing in this thing? I mean, there was also rumor that Henry Cavill did a cameo in that one as well. Like, there's all kinds of stuff, clearly. But I mean, is that going to be kind of their wait until Flashpoint? All will be revealed in Flashpoint. I mean, is that really kind of the point that we need to wait till?
I don't know, man, because that movie was already made and scripted and kind of basically done before this hierarchy change. That may have been the old regime's way of kind of rebooting things, but does James Gunn want to do things that same exact way?
Yeah, who knows?
Probably not. He could easily release Flash and be like, this movie's gonna make millions of dollars, and then I'll still change whatever I want. You know what I mean? I'll just make a new now the DC universe revolves around Matt Reeves' Batman was the first movie of this new DC universe. He could easily go that route if he wants to and be like, that's our starting point. That's our Iron Man. You know what I mean?
Yep. Well, that's what I
So
was going to ask. That was the last thing I had on the little checklist there is that is kind of one of the rumored, once again, everything's a rumor right now. Nothing officially has been said. So we're just reacting to people's wildest dreams. But supposedly the new DCU, there's a potential possibility for it to be set in the Batman's universe. So just like you said, that would be movie number one. That's the Iron Man. And Matt Reeves has kind of become the Christopher Nolan of this new DCU. How do you feel about that? I mean, the Batman was always kept separate and was said to be on a different Earth than whatever else
well,
to be different,
I got news for you. Things change quick.
right?
Like buckle your safety belt. If that's what they want to go, I may not have an issue with that. But the only thing, I mean, it'd be cool. I like the feel of that movie. Obviously, if you're gonna move into other corners of DC, it's not gonna all feel like that. Like Gotham City is a dark, gritty
Right?
movie like that was. They're not all, hopefully, not all gonna be that same way. If that's the route they went. But then my biggest thought is, okay, if that's what we're doing, then we're just wasting time with Flash, Aquaman,
Well, yeah.
that we're just totally wasting time. So I don't know. I wouldn't have a big issue with it. I do like the idea of that being separate and its own thing, but also I couldn't blame them if they decided to go that route. I mean, the movie was great,
Yeah.
financially successful. People really took to Robert Pattinson's portrayal and that whole world. So I don't know. I guess we'll kind of have to wait and see.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I like that idea. I'd prefer them to leave it alone and figure out their own thing and keep Batman grounded because as the Justice League taught us anything, once we got into those bigger threats like Darkseid, Batman was kind of out of place and really they didn't have a role for him. And if you want to get bigger Justice League kind of levels of action and just like story drama, Batman just, I mean, I know you'll probably want him in there, but Batman just was running around with a shotgun for like two movies, just not knowing, fighting these monsters, and just really kind of didn't have a place. And I'd be okay, but I guess you really can't do a Justice League without Batman. So
And I also think like they may be onto something because I think they just decided that it gets too confusing when you have so many different Batmans in the same world. You
yeah,
know, have not even same world, but like DC's making two different Batmans.
yeah,
Why
yeah,
is that? Have one Batman.
yeah. So
I
that's
mean,
they might have to put them together.
you know, I don't know. We'll
Yeah,
definitely see.